Good evening, race fans. Welcome into the penultimate round of the penultimate race of the round of 12 here for the LSRL Xfinity Series here at Legacy Atlanta tonight for 130 laps. Race 13 of 15 on the season. Race 3 of 4 in the round of 12 to determine who's going to advance to our Championship 4. Just going to be me here in the booth tonight. Don't have my co-commentator Art. We just got back from the 500 late last night, and then he carried on back home, so he had an even further drive than I did. So it'll just be me in the booth. He's getting some much-needed and well-deserved rest. The following race information: stage break lap 45, 70% fuel capacity, estimated fuel run of about 38 to 42 laps, 5 total tire sets, 1 starter set, 4 in the pits, 0 fast repairs, and 3 green-white checkers tonight. If needed, don't think we'll need them, but nevertheless, let's get you ready to the on-track action as qualifying is just about to begin, and we're going to be looking at this man a lot tonight. Mark Whitley in the 77, dominant all season, long wrecked out early last week at Talladega, and finds himself just on that cut line, battling it out. We'll have a lot of work to do here tonight. We'll see how aggressive he wants to get. Over the course of 130 laps, Legacy Atlanta known to shred tires. So tire wear, tire management over the course of the long runs going to be very important here tonight. Let's go on board with the driver of the 77 machine. For the first of his 2 laps, you can already see Luce out of turn number 2 on his very first lap. Down the back straightaway, trying to build momentum for his second lap. Roll the center of the corner beautifully, navigate the bumps, and try and straight land it off. He'll be crossing the line on his first lap for a time of 31.810. Yen slots in second, 32.2. Eric Shields, Corey Blevins, time starting to filter in hot and heavy now. If the 77 can improve on his second lap. A little bit lower this time through 3 and 4, maybe about half a lane. And he is improving in the first half of the lap. Can he improve in the second half of the lap from a 31.81? His second lap will be a 31.73, so almost a tenth there on his second lap. Quisenberry slots into 4th. Casey Brown slots into 5th on his first lap. Corey Blevins, the only other man to break the 31-second bracket, 31.99, but he is wrecking off of turn number 2, and that'll be his only lap. Jonathan Schwartz, not eligible for the championship, had to sit out a race. Was out of town last weekend for Talladega, so gave up his spot to another driver that could be here. Randy Arms also cracks the 31-second bracket, 31.8. Those two have been going at it all season. Casey Brown able to improve slightly on his second lap. He'll crack the 31-second bracket as well. Schwartz on the bottom side of the racetrack. William K. Price goes second quickest. Schwartz on his second lap, 31.93, goes 4th quickest. There's Joseph Murata. Just on a cool-down lap, and won't be able to improve. Cade Ferguson, his first lap, 32.6. In that 28 machine, riding the high line, trying to build up that momentum. And down the back straightaway off into turn number 3 at nearly 190 miles an hour. Currently sits 15th. Going to be looking to get into the low 32s, hopefully here if he can. Improve his starting position out of turn number 4 through the tri-oval or quad oval, I guess you would call it. His second lap, only good enough for 15th again. 32.4. Joseph McGill, his first lap, a 32.6. In the 69 machine, we'll see if there's an improvement. James Goodwin cracks the top 10, 32.05. With just a minute left in qualifying, only 3 or 4 drivers yet to finish their laps. Joseph McGill crossing the line. Jared Lindsay making one of his select appearances, 32.5 on his first lap. So his second lap going to be the quick one. We'll see what this 18 machine can do from 18th to 4th. Goodwin goes 6th on his final lap. And here is Mike DeWalt to close us out on qualifying. His final lap in the 9 machine. Good enough for... did he go off track? Yes, he did. Did not count. Let's take a look. He was... he was really... he was really fighting it. So I guess he had to reset. So that would have been his, I guess, second out lap. So he's not going to get a time. He's just going to come up just a couple hundred yards short in the 9 machine. But it's Mark Whitley on pole. William K. Price, 2nd. Randy Arms, 3rd. Lindsay and Shorts rounding out your top 5. The good lap from William K. Price. Let's show you your championship standings as we come into the second to last race of this round of 12. And when you look at it, a lot of change from before Talladega to after Talladega. Randy Arms, now your point leader. Someone has finally unseated Mark Whitley. Kyle Ritchie, a huge win for him last week. First win of his LSRL career. Hopped all the way up to 2nd, and then another 2 points behind that. So 4 points separating your top 3. Back to Samuel Demien. Incredible consistency. 8 top 10s this season. And then Mark Whitley from 1st to 4th after being involved in that first caution last week at Talladega. 5-point cushion to Ryan Tiller in 5th. Mike DeWalt. Gonna have to start towards the back of this pack. Would have loved to get a qualifying effort in. And then William K. Price down in 12th has been wrecked out in the first 2 races, Rockingham and Talladega, so needs to go for the win tonight. He'll start 2nd, looking to make a miraculous comeback with 2 races left. Michael Davis starts 11th tonight. He's 11th in the points. Zach Scare, 10th, elected not to qualify. But it is a topsy-turvy grid. Mazzella has come on strong the last month. He's got a ton of momentum on his side. On the outside looking in, Nathaniel Landwehr, unfortunately, won't be here tonight, so that'll all but end his championship hunt. Something must have come up because he did not opt out. I hate to see it. He's a worthy challenger. A lot of speed in that 66 machine, and hate that he won't be here tonight to go for the win. But we're rolling off. It's time for 130 laps after we do our 1 pace lap. I think in a must-win situation, my pick to win tonight, the 5-time winner already this season, I think Mark Whitley makes it 6 and gets himself squarely back in the championship fight. Reestablishes himself as the favorite. He was the only man to qualify in the 31.7 bracket, so he's got a ton of speed. He knows how to get it done on these mile-and-a-half ovals. We'll have 23 drivers here tonight, all the way back down to Zach Scare. They all gridded up. Daniel Hashi, making a 2nd consecutive start, picked up his first ever LSRL podium on the Xfinity side of things. So we'll work the charge from the back to do it again here tonight. 130 laps. Lot of playoff implications on the line. Drivers highlighted in purple at the top of your screen on the ticker. Those are the playoff drivers. Everyone not highlighted trying to play spoiler. Here we go. Pace car is off. 130 laps. Mark Whitley has the field in tow. We are ready to go racing. Green flag in the air. We're underway. Already some guys struggling. Get up to speed. William K. Price lit up the rear tires, and he'll be under pressure for 2nd as they head into turn number 1 for the first time. Randy Arms with a great restart. Was talking to James Goodwin pre-race. He sits in the 7th position. He said this should be the tire shredder 130. How bad the right side of these cars are going to get torn up. The tires on this legacy surface. Not raced in real life before the repave. There's a little on tires, so you're going to have to baby it a little bit. I see a couple guys that like to charge forward in the opening, and that could hurt them on the long run. be able to take care of your stuff. Clean air going to be king, and that's what Mark Whitley has right now. Half a second lead over Randy Arms. He already picked up a crucial bonus point for leading the first couple laps of this race. He's looking to establish control early on. Fastest lap. He's the only man in the 31-second bracket, so that's what the Clean Air will do for you. Back into the Hornet's nest. Just inside and outside of the top 10. 2x2 racing down the back straightaway. 4 cars on the bottom, 3 up top. Casey Brown leading that high line. Shorts leading the inside line. Kyle Ritchie started in 9th, looking to carry the momentum from his Talladega win. Get himself into the championship field, but they got one more race after this, so there's still a lot to be decided, but careful here in the early going. A lot of cars compacted together. So on board here with the 21 machine, Samuel Demien. See what he's seeing out the front windshield. He's going to see a lot of 2x2 just ahead of him. Some guys that might be burning up their tires. He can be in a position to pick up some spots here as the laps tick off. Fall off going to be huge here. Tire wear, all of the above. We're going to see guys using multiple lanes, trying to find out what works best for their race car. How about James Goodwin? When I talked to him pre-race, and he said he didn't have a lot of confidence in the tires to hold up even after only 20 laps. And right now he's P5. And just behind him, Landon Quisenberry, +7. So we'll see if those tires can hold up. He's on the charge forward in just the opening 6 laps. He's picked up over a spot a lap, 3 wide just behind this group. Schwartz in the middle. Kyle Ritchie into the top 10. Nice little slide drop there right up in front of 58. You actually heard it right there. That 58 more than happy to sit in the draft. He is saving fuel. Need a couple laps extra to get to the stage break at lap 45. Clutch it through the corner, save a little bit of fuel, draft behind these other cars, and he'll try and get to that lap 45, pick up some crucial stage points. I know he's not racing for a championship, but there is still a lot on the line as the battle for the lead is kicked off the top. He got broken away from the rest of the field. Price 1.4 seconds ahead of Jonathan Mazzella. They're all on that high line. We've seen this a time or two. The 77 and the 8 machine close, following each other's tire tracks. But it's super hard to get around that 77. You can catch them, and you can hang with them for a couple of laps, but it's an entirely different thing to pass it and pull away. And that's what Randy Arms is trying to figure out right now. You don't want to sit in the dirty air and burn your stuff up more than you have to, especially with inside of the first 10 laps. Can't really afford to lift off too much because he's got William K. Price right behind him. This 34 hungry for a win. He's been in contention pretty much the entire season. Just hasn't had the luck to go with it. He's an excellent qualifier. He's really coming to his own in terms of the race pace over the last month or so. He's going to make a move here to the inside. That's a power move from that 34. He said, I'm taking that spot right away. Randy thinking about the crossover, but we'll tuck back in line. We're almost 4 wide here through the quad oval. Kyle Ritchie on the bottom. Casey Brown, the meat and the sandwich. Quisenberry up high, and that was Corey Blevins in the 24. It almost made it 4 wide. He was a little bit out of shape on the front stretch, it looked like. A little loose off of turn 4. And Quisenberry, he was +7, now +3, so that hard charge early on might have hurt him just a little bit. He's already gave back 4 spots since we last talked about him. Davis, 11th, right where he started, then Min, +4. He's just picking them off one at a time. Lazella, +6, but he's kind of on his own right now. And then look at this mess behind, just outside of the top 15 and to 20th. That's William Bummel with a little wiggle out of 2. This pack being led by Cade Ferguson and Joseph McGill. There's really just 2 groups going at it. A lot of 2x2. It's Mike DeWalt in the 9 machine. Didn't get his qualifying lap in, so he's stuck back here in traffic, just trying to kind of survive. That's Jonathan Schwartz. We've seen him saving fuel. He has really backed up the pace. Let's go on board with them into turn 3, and you'll hear them clutch, and you'll hear the RPMs right down to 2,000 to save fuel. And he cuts off. Any fuel, and then midway through the corner picks it back up with throttle. Oh, that's almost contact right in front of him. That 27 was sliding up the hill. That 69 was coming down the hill. He almost collided. I'm missing when Chase Elliott took out Denny Hamlin, except that was really incidental contact between the two right there. But it would have ended up in the same result, a hard right-hand turn. Eric Shields, almost. I don't know if he notices how close he was to getting right hook. He's carrying on. He got by the 69. Now he's chasing after Joseph Murata. He's +3. A lot of racing here in the early going. Oh, and we're cutting to Demien on board with them. That's going to be trouble with Ryan Tiller teammates. Coming back up the track. Tiller toes immediately. And what in the world happened there? Yellow out immediately. We saw cars sliding back up the racetrack. Tiller was able to lock it down. And he toes his race effectively over. But what happened here? The 21 and the 23 off of turn 2. Oh, and that's the 75 of Quisenberry that was also involved in this. Let's take another look from the whodunit angle. You see on the exit of 2, 21 slides up the hill, 75. Contact made. There is not a whole lot of runoff down the back straightaway. That is massive implications for both of these drivers. So let's see here. Does 21 think he'll be clear? I don't know that the 75 was entitled to get out of the way here. 21's Demien right behind him entering the corner. He gets a better run back to the front first. He just doesn't clear him, and then contact is made. He bounces off the wall, and then there's Tiller. It's an innocent bystander. Let's see here from Ashley's point of view. Just out of turn 2, this whole pack right here, we're lucky it's not any worse than this. There wasn't a huge rebound effect. Yeah, but 3 cars involved. Quisenberry has, minor damage. The 21, a lot of damage. And the 23 terminal, he's out of the race already. Everybody came down. 21's going to go a lap down, and I mean that's just damage all over. The whole right side, right front, the whole rear bumper. He'll go a lap down. He's the only one a lap down, so if he can somehow ride this out to the stage break, I mean, you get what you can fix to salvage something. That is potentially championship-altering incident off of turn 2. Mic needs to be turned up. All right, we can turn the mic up, that's for sure. Shoot the heads up. Going back to the restart, lap 19. Randy Arms won the race off of pit road, so he'll get the bonus point. And he'll have the opportunity to control this race with some clean air out front. '21 was able to get off of pit road. Pace car makes the hard left-hand turn. Very sharp turn. And through the Geico restart zone we go. The cleanest of starts for Randy. That 77 will be in position to challenge. It's Michael Davis that got out of shape there as well. He's lost 2 spots right there off the rip. Mark Whitley going to have the momentum on the high side. He's back to the lead already. Great restart for the 77. Here comes Jared Lindsay to the inside of William K. Price. Randy falling back. He's 3 wide. Got tied off of 4, and Randy says, you know what, I'll give you that. Right off the restart, no need to put myself in a bad situation. Demien, you can still see heavily damaged. He's going to have to limp around for over half the stage. Try not to go 2 down, but he's pushing 140. I mean, he's just out there riding now. I mean, even the left side is destroyed as well. So he's got, I mean, he's just going to have to hope for more chaos. But this is the one league where you don't usually get it. We had the one incident. I don't really expect too many more. Just as I say that, there's cars in the wall. Mike DeWalt almost catches the 28 of Cade Ferguson. Quisenberry right in the thick of it again. Joseph McGill washes up the hill a little bit. The wall hasn't really seemed to settle in yet. He's been outside the top 15 most of the race, but he usually gets better as the race goes on. Let's see if he can make a late charge towards the end of our one and only stage. A lot of stage points up for grabs, very important. The cut line as tight as it is. Randy already down to 7th. He's saving a little bit of tire, I would assume, off the restart. 22. We've had 2 leaders, Mark Whitley and Randy Arms. Randy won the race off pit road, led a couple laps under yellow. But it's been all Mark Whitley under green flag conditions. William K. Price trying to be the one to change that. Got a great run off turn 2. Goes right up to the back bumper of that 77, pressuring him all the way. Jared Lindsay waiting if something happens. Between the 2 red and white cars. And Demien's coming in again. He was getting caught by the lead pack. He was almost dangerously off the pace. And so he makes a smart move there. That 34, he's going way up top. Trying to get the momentum. Oh, we had to lift just for a second. There's clean air at stake. He's going to take a peek, and here we go. Battle for the race lead. We saw him powered up earlier on the inside around Randy, but look at the 77 back in the throttle. That thing is hooked up. That's going to be tough to beat. A little bit further back. Schwartz doesn't have to save any fuel. We're all good to the stage break, lap 45. It's all about points racing now. 27, he powered it up early. Got a great run early on the throttle. Around the outside, almost contact. 27 does make the pass. Put him into 10th position just ahead of this. 3 cars. Casey Brown, Randy Arms, Landon Quisenberry. And then a little bit further back outside of the top 10, here's Kyle Ritchie. Down to 14th. Randy up in the wall all the way through 1 and 2. He'll lose a spot to Shields, and Shorts trying to take advantage as well. Battle here for 4th. Or 5th, excuse me. That's Blevins and James Goodwin. Goodwin having an outstanding run. And there's battles all the way around the racetrack, all the way back to the 21st car on track. That's Daniel Hashey. So we're literally battling through the entirety of this field, almost 3 wide. For 19th place. Understand why Art's not here tonight, my co-commentator, but he'd be helping me out with all the action. We'll try and get as much of it as we can. Your favorite drivers battling it out side by side. Some Brown rim riding. And Quisenberry entering the picture right here. This is for the 6th position. Back at the front, that's 77, slowly starting to pull away. It was a dead heat a couple of laps ago. Now it's 3.5 car lengths. 34 still working the very top of the racetrack. That's 77 working the middle beautifully. Jared Lindsay right there as well. So about 4 car lengths between all of them. Then another second back to Mazzella. Tony Scarbo under pressure here from DeWall. He's going to make a move to the inside in 3. We can get back to the throttle first. That 59 will have the momentum, but the 9 back to the throttle first. Shortest way around the racetrack. And he's got half a car length through the quad oval and into 1. He'll get the move done. Slide up right in front of that 59. Good move there by Mike DeWalt. Davis into the wall. You can see the momentum this 76 has. 57 not going to try and block it. So Richie gets to his outside. He has the momentum. And we'll be side by side on the exit of turn number 4. But the momentum will carry that 76 through into 13th place. Through the eyes of the fans here at a sold-out Atlanta Motor Speedway. We'll see Kyle Ritchie complete the pass. Here comes Mike DeWalt as well to follow that up around the outside of Michael Davis. And Tony Scabo right there as well. So that 57 going in the wrong direction. Just a little bit. Side by side just ahead of that. That's Joseph McGill. He's having a really good run. He's +6 right now. He can complete the pass on Randy Arms, that is. Would be +6. That 69 has come alive here since the restart. And there's James Goodwin landing Quisenberry through the quad oval. 75 over it in deep to turn 1. Going to try the slide job right in front of the 11. We'll see if the 11 crosses him over on the exit of 2. He'll stay in line for now. Back at the front, William K. Price closing it again, and he's bringing Jared Lindsay right with him. So it's a 3-car race for the lead right now. 3 cars separated by 3.5 car lengths. We're approaching 10 laps to go in the stage. 21 cars on track on the lead laps. Samuel Demien has been on pit road for the last 6 minutes. Out of the race in all effectiveness. Ryan Tiller officially out of the race after he made contact with Demien, after Demien made contact with Quisenberry on the exit of turn number 2. Bring out our only caution of the race so far. This is great stuff right here. 3 guys at the top of their game right now. This would be excellent stage points for William K. Price. This is what he needs to somehow give himself an opportunity to fight back, to get into the championship four. He's had great speed, just has had no luck. But these three right now, the class of the field. 10 laps to go in the stage. We saw Randy Arms. He was dropping back to save a little bit of tires. See if he decides to start heading in the other direction. See if he has a little bit of rubber saved up. But he's still under pressure right now from that 76 of Kyle Ritchie. Joseph McGill actually got around Randy, and he put 2.5 seconds on his head. He's chasing after Schwartz for some stage points. Ritchie completes the pass. Here comes Mike DeWalt. Trying to be opportunistic. The closest battles on the racetrack right now, though, is for the race leads. That's where we'll focus our attention. That 34 taking a peek to the inside. 18 a little bit lower than him, so 3 different lanes by your top 3. Great run there for the 34. We saw it on the opening run of the race, which was 14 laps. Randy Arms was able to get right up to the back bumper this 77, but it's an entirely different story to pass him. DeWalt trying to complete his pass, get himself up into 13th. There's Quisenberry and Eric Shields. 27 having a very nice run. He's +6. He's a good one. Another strong top 10 run so far. I'm very impressed with Joseph McGill, though. He's nearly 11 spots to the good of what has been his average finish so far this season. So something has clicked for him this week, and he's looking to get up into the top 10 here. So he's really enjoying Legacy Atlanta. Something has really stood out for this 69 machine, and he is putting that 58 under all the pressure he can handle right now. He's going to take a look to the inside. And he carried the momentum. 58, going to go to the high side. Looking for his first top 10 of the season is Joseph McGill, as we have 5 laps to go. And so we complete this lap for the stage. What does William K. Price have? Lindsay has dropped just a little bit further back. So Price knows he could probably go for a move here and still hold on to second if he gets a good enough run. Oh, Mazzella was loose out of 4 there just in the background. He's pushing hard. But I think if you're William K. Price, you got to at least go for one more move, knowing your point situation. He is going to the inside here. Gonna have to make a big send, though. That 77 will have the momentum. You can tell he tried to throttle it up early, got a little bit tight. That 77 will get back by him. But he'll still hold on to second. We'll chop the nose off, and Price will have to try again. Excellent racecraft from these two. You know you have a pit stop coming here in just a couple of laps with the stage break, so you can push, and we'll get a new set of Goodyear tires in just a minute. So anything you got left, time to use it. Only other battle inside the top 10, Quisenberry and Eric Shields. Schwartz holds off McGill for now. A little bit further back, there's DeWalt and Randy. They've been going at it for a couple of laps as well. No clear winner in this battle. As I say that, DeWalt pulls ahead, and he'll get that 13th position. That's +7 for Mike DeWalt, who's starting to come alive just a little bit. 2 laps to go in the stage break, and Whitley just put another car length between himself and William K. Price. And that could be all you need when the margins are this close to double it from 1/10 to 2/10. He should be able to hold on here unless that 34 really has a big send down to the inside, but think he'll be satisfied with how this first stage went. He actually was able to stay with that 77. The top two as they qualify. Here to start the last lap of our only stage tonight. And the top 10 looks to be pretty much set in stone. Let's see here if Shields can give Quisenberry a run for his money, though, and he does have a great run out of 4. So we'll monitor that right as we come through the final corner for your race leader on the last lap of this stage. Okay, Price gets close to car lengths, but it'll be Mark Whitley with a statement in the opening stage. He's right back where he needs to be. And then we look back. Looks like Quisenberry will hold him off. Yellow is out. 75 gets a little loose, but he'll hold the position. And just before that, Michael Davis, just before the yellow came out, he was able to throttle up and slide up in front of Randy Arns. But as we reset the running order here and everyone makes their pit stop, let's quickly get a couple of quick words in from the incredible sponsors of the LSRL Xfinity Series.
shout out to the Cleaning Authority, Wilder Graphics, Butt Kicker, Sim Racer Hub for the incredible support they give to the LSRL Xfinity Series. Mark Whitley maintains. William K. Price also. Greg Blevins comes out third. Mazzella and Quisenberry, your top five. Off of pit road. James Goodwin long stop, 53 seconds. Jared Lindsay came back to top off. '21 machine is back on the racetrack. Still has a decent amount of damage, but it's not as bad as it was. But he is just really hoping that his competitors have some major incidents. He's 22 laps down. He'll need a lot of help to even get one position, but it's what he's got to try and maximize his points the best he can. Lights are off on top of the pace car. Let's quickly show you why he's still running. He is third coming into tonight. He had a 6-point gap over Mark Whitley. Obviously, Whitley's now ahead of him with the stage points alone. So moved Demian down to fourth. Tiller also out of the race, so that's kind of a moot point. But if you're Michael DeWalt, Jonathan Mazzella, Casey Brown, you feel inspired now to go get this with what's left of this race and then all next week. So it's all to play for now. We have drastically changed the bubble picture again. Start here, lap 51. We have a couple guys come in and top off. William Bowman, Zach Scare, Lindsay topped off again. So we'll see how that plays into the strategy, if the fuel ends up being a factor. Coming back for the restart. Lap 51. Mark Whitley will get us back underway. Pace car is off. Whitley enters the Geico restart zone, and he is gone. And let's crank it up for the first time here tonight live on YJ Media. Some incredible in-car shots there, courtesy of TrackCams22.com, especially for the Crank It Up camera as well, making all of that possible. Saw some great racing there mid-pack. Randy Arms trying to get back up there, back inside the top 10. Kyle Richie, Casey Brown, they're side by side just ahead of him. Some 3 wide, almost some 4 wide right off the restart. Everyone looking for spots on the restart with the fresh Goodyear tires. Easiest spot to make up positions. Ooh, Randy got really tight right there. Still carrying some decent speed. He's to the inside of Casey Brown. He'll take the spot away. He slid up right in front of him and put the 8 machine into the 8th position. He is definitely re-energized. He's heading back towards the front. James Goodwin has a lot of work. He's got left side damage now on that 11, so it's all gone wrong since that pit stop. Not sure when he got that. Let's see if we can find out. He had that long pit stop, but didn't see any damage before the stop. Let's see if it was... Yeah, just done that. So we'll go back. Definitely has altered his race ever so slightly. He's hanging out right around 8th or 9th place, but now he's back 18th, trying to pick off Cade Ferguson. William Bowman just ahead of him, so... Jared Lindsay also, he came down and topped off twice, so he's kind of saving fuel right now. He's not pushing it too hard. He was been inside the top 5 most of the night. So we'll see how his strategy ends up. Still a 3-car breakaway, this time with Corey Blevins being the third of that trio. Tell you what, Joseph McGill's still having a very nice run. Finished the first stage at 11th. Lost a couple spots on pit road, but he is maintaining right now. The biggest mover is Mike DeWalt. He's one of these guys that'll feel really encouraged by the unfortunate incident to the 21 machine. He'll be nipping at his heels going into next week's round of 12 finale at Auto Club. There's still a lot that can happen here, nearing the halfway point of this race. What's to say that Price won't be in a position to make some noise next week. You got second place stage points, second right now. He's trying to make some noise after the first 2 races didn't go his way. He would love it if he could get a win. But finding a way around Mark Whitley, that is going to be hard to do. He's been in control 98% of the time. The 2% that he wasn't, Randy Arms beat him out under yellow after our first caution of the race, and then he promptly took the lead right back on the first lap. So he has led almost flag to flag currently. But he has had pressure the entire time, whether it be Randy Arms or William K. Price. He has not broken away like we've seen him do on a number of occasions. So this is not put to bed just yet. We still have another pit stop to make as well. And we got 5 cars within a second. And with as bad as the fall-off is, one of these cars comes in just 1 lap early and big difference in track position. And in Quisenberry continuing to have a nice night after his incident with the 21 machine of Demien. Lucky it wasn't worse for him, but he survived and he's battling away right now in the 7th, now 8th position after losing out to Randy Arms. He's also under pressure from Kyle Ritchie at 76, starting to come alive a little bit. And here comes Mike DeWalt as well. There's 3 wide right there, but at 9 car, he's plus 10 right now. He just seems to come alive. Near the midpoint of these races, starts to figure out what he likes, what he doesn't like with the car. And he's able to just slowly make up time, pick up some positions. And he's doing a nice job. Don't hardly ever remember calling out his name in terms of an incident. It's just very good at bringing this car home in one piece. And that consistency is why he's in a position to potentially get himself into the championship 4. Especially if he could pick up a couple more spots here. To the outside of Michael Davis. That's a dead heat at the line. Give it to the 9 machine, though. Some new paint schemes from himself and the 57. Nice looking paint scheme. 75 brought some new paint to the track this week as well. Ooh, and that's Casey Brown. Very loose off of turn number 2. He hangs on to it, stays in 11th. It's a heart-in-the-mouth moment right there. And towards that inside wall, not a whole lot of room to gather it up, but he had the space to correct it. Eric Shields 1.3 behind, so he had some time to gather it up. It's Cade Ferguson, William Bowman. They're pretty close there. Off of turn 4. New paint scheme for William Bowman as well, rocking the NASA scheme in the 53. Here is a 3-way fight for 3rd. Corey Blevins, Jonathan Mazzella, Jonathan Schwartz. Jonathan and Jonathan, side by side. Schwartz with the slight advantage. He's trying to go 2 for 1 almost. Got a great run through 1 and 2 there on the bottom. And he just barely has to tuck back in line. Was trying to hang on that left rear if he could. All this has allowed William K. Price to break away, and he has been right at that 0.2 of a second gap to Mark Whitley. Just ever so close. He's made a couple of moves to the inside, but that's 77. He's not going to give up that top side and the momentum without a mistake. Schwartz slides up in front of the 24. 24's trying the crossover. Take another look at what he did off of turn number 2 here. He just got back to the throttle first. That 24 was going to have the momentum. But when it's this close, he has to lift and regroup, and he tried the crossover. 58 now got to the top side. He's got the momentum, and he's going to try and break away. Gutsy move there from the 58. Get that wrong by just a couple of inches, maybe not even inches, just a few centimeters really. It's that close to getting yourself turned or put in the wall or even worse. The margins are so slim. Trying to pick up a spot as well. 24 not giving up that top side without a fight though. Kyle Ritchie trying to work his way into the top 5 for the first time tonight. He has come alive here in the second half of this race. We're officially past halfway. And the arms working back towards the top 5 as well. And just look at William Price. He is trying his hardest to get to that outside, but he's got to run, and he's again going to take it down to the inside, but we've seen this a couple of times. He's really going to have to send it to make it work, but he just gets a little bit too tight on the bottom in 3 and 4. Whitley comes back at him, and that momentum carries him clear again. That was his best chance. If we're going to go back down to the bottom, he is going to be consistent with it, sticking to his lane. Just a little bit too tight right now. I thought he could have played a tad bit more aggressive that last lap off of 2. He had the run. The 77 just didn't get out of the corner as well as he normally did. But the 34 had to crack the throttle. He didn't want to run him over. But you say, oh, if you're on the throttle maybe a second longer, you don't crack it as much, then maybe he has the momentum to clear him down into turn 3. But he's being very respectful right now. Still a lot of racing left. Pounding the wall off turn 2. Randy by Quisenberry. Here comes Michael Davis. We got number inverses going at it. 75-57. Battle for 8th. Mike DeWalt making an early pit stop here. And he's going to bring Tony Scarbo with him. So this is interesting. James Goodwin coming in as well.
So we'll see if this gets any of the leaders to respond. DeWalt was just outside of the top 10. But I think if you're the 34, you could maybe argue. Here comes Randy and Michael Davis. So that is going to force an early pit stop. Casey Brown, hang on to it. Oh, my goodness. Holy cow. I think if you're the 34, I know the tire fall off is huge here, but you have been sticking with this 77 stride for stride. Try and pit a lap early. See if you can get some clean air and try and hold them off. I think that would be what I would do, because you are at 1.7 seconds ahead of Schwartz. You have a little bit of time behind you to play with. You've already got the stage points. You're not risking any stage points at this point. So I think, you know, you could maybe make a case for it. Casey Brown, I do believe, was speeding on the entry there. And that is confirmed by Ryan Tiller. Yeah, he was lucky to not even spin it out, so I guess the lesser of two evils. Do you take the penalty, or do you miss pit road entirely? But who blinks first from these two? Or further back? What does this group of three do? And even further back, more side by side. Great racing throughout this field. And it is Mike DeWalt with the lap 74 pit. He was able to jump Randy Arms, Michael Davis, and Scarbo. And he is by far the quickest man on the racetrack. Look at the closing speed. Where do you go? Here's Randy. It's about to heat up. This could be the battle for the net race of the lead. And here's Mazzella coming in. He pits from 4th. Yeah, if you're William K. Price, you got it down to 2.6 seconds. I think you just take a chance with one lap just to see how it works. I think at worst you're a second place car here tonight, so try something just a little bit different. Don't follow them in and keep getting stuck behind them. Kyle Ritchie rim riding, Schwartz going at it. Here comes DeWalt and Randy. They're going to be past Mazzella comfortably. Randy with those one-lap fresher tires, desperate to get by and start his charge. Mazzella going to end up almost behind Scarbo. So that shows you how big the tire fall-off is. He'll be 5.5 seconds behind DeWalt and Arms with a 4-lap advantage on tires. And here comes Landon Quisenberry. So it's all about how well can you manage your tires. 75 is in. Your leaders are just putting on a clinic right now. They're 3 seconds ahead. They are flying around Legacy Atlanta. Which one of them blinks first? Who pits? It's not going to be Whitley. He's at the top side of the racetrack. MK Price, stride for stride. Nobody back here, but all the while, Randy Arms is flying. Mike DeWalt is flying. Davis and Mazzella and Scarbo, they're all flying. Nearly a 1.5 seconds quicker per lap from all of them. How much time are you willing to give up? William K. Price again to the inside, but he realizes that it's not going to work. He'll just fall back in line. He did not want to get pinched down to the bottom, and here comes Whitley. And see, he had the clean air, and he's going to pit a lap before Price, so I think it has to be an instant response. That's what you couldn't afford. But Price finally gets his bonus point for that. He does lead the lap. Here comes Randy Arms. He's finally around DeWalt to unlap himself. Whitley finally in pit stall number 1. We'll see the leaders working off of turn 4 here in just a second. William K. Price not pitting. Good work by the 77 crew. Down and away. And how big will the advantage be for Randy Arms? He's hoping it's a huge margin. Whitley still working off the apron. Don't want to get a penalty on pit exit. managed well. Randy 6, almost 7 seconds ahead. But he has a 7-lap disadvantage to Mark Whitley on tires. So William Price, he's going the other direction though. I thought he should come in a lap early and try and get the undercut on Whitley. He said, you know what? I do think I have a second place car. I'm gonna try and run him down on newer tires. That's what. So he's going long, and I can respect that. What you don't want to end up in the situation is you pit a lap behind him. So you have 1 lap fresher tires than him, but you're down 2 or 3 seconds. So he's going to try and make this all up at the end of the race. For example, Mark Whitley, his first lap up to speed. We'll get to you in just a second. Randy Arms' last lap, a 32.1. Whitley crosses the line, we'll be able to tell you. It was a 31.7 actually, so even on his like kind of merging in with traffic. This lap, once the tires are fully up to temperature, he just set his best lap of the race. 31.65, Randy Arms 32.21. So it is a stark contrast, even with just 7 laps on tires. Your race leader, he's staying out. He's a 33.5, so he is giving up a lot of time in the hopes that he'll have the freshest tires in the field and he'll be able to try and run down your race leaders at the end of this stint. Trouble for the playoff, guys. Casey Brown speeding. Demien and Tiller, an incident on lap 14. But it is your top 11. Got guys way back in the field that also haven't come in. So the top 11 have yet to pit. Kyle Ritchie, I mean, he's been in the top 10 all night. Schwartz, same thing. These are fast guys sticking to the strategy of going long. Jared Lindsay put it on lap 49. He's going to try and stretch this into a 1-stop. He's going to pit one more time and he's done. So that's his strategy. Let's go on board with him, see if he's trying to save just a little bit of fuel. We'll see here to turn 3 what his strategy, how aggressive he is with the saving to try and make this a 1-stop. So he must feel pretty good on fuel there. No lifting, no coasting there. Top 11, they're still going. Could be in any lap, and there comes Cade Ferguson. They had a couple laps under yellow to save. They pitted on lap 47. We got the restart on lap 51. Once by the time we all reset the running order. And here comes your race leader. And that'll bring everybody else in usually. Except for Jonathan Schwartz. Blevins, Jared Lindsay's going to keep going. Here comes Shields, Murata. Bowman's going to keep going. Zach Scare's going. Daniel Hashey is in. So that leaves the top 4. Jonathan Schwartz pitted on lap 47. The other 3 pitted on lap 49, so these 3 right here can go a bit longer, and they're going to make this a 1-stop race. Randy Arms will be your leader if they pit this lap, but Mark Whitley is the quickest man on the racetrack. William K. Price, with 8 lap fresher tires, comes out 13.5 seconds, now make it 14.5 seconds behind Mark Whitley. It was a dead heat when Whitley made his pit stop, so William K. Price willingly gave up 14.5 seconds to try and close this down. We'll see if he can do it. Jared Lindsay, the only man yet to pit, and here he comes. Randy Arms will take the lead of the race briefly, because here comes Mark Whitley. That is pit stops complete. Lindsay should be able to get to the end of this sucker. So we'll see if he's come out with an absolute masterclass of a strategy. Randy is the race leader, but only for another corner or two. William K. Price, you can't be too upset with how this has unfolded. He's the quickest man on the racetrack. He'll easily dispatch of Scarbo and Quisenberry to get into 6th within a lap or 2. And then the hunt is on for the next 5. We'll see if he can do it. Jared Lindsay, though, he's not stopping again. He's got nothing to lose. He's made one start, got a top 5 in it. He's going for the win. Had to do something different to get to victory lane, potentially. Again, continuing to be impressed with Joseph McGill. Holding his own in 10th. Looking for his first top 10 of the season, but he does have quicker cars on the alternate strategy. Shorts went really long. But it's still a great race for this 69 machine. William K. Price does dispatch of Scarbo. He's over a second and a half quicker, so he should get Quisenberry this lap with the pace that he's on. He's 11 and a half seconds behind Whitley. 16 cars on the lead lap. Back to Cade Ferguson. Battle for 3rd. Mike DeWalt just got passed by Mazzella. He's got 4-lap fresher tires. So Mazzella will start to pull away. He'll try and close in on Randy. Mazzella's got 2-lap fresher tires than Randy does. Randy, it was a good call. I mean, he is comfortably in 2nd for the time being. William K. Price did dispatch of Quisenberry. Next up for him is Michael Davis. There's a 15-lap disparity on tires. Let's show you what we're talking about. The lower right of your screen. We don't need to know how long their pit stop was, but lap 82 for Whitley, 75 for Arms, 78 for Mazzella, 74 for DeWalt. He started the sequence, and it's working out beautifully for him. He's plus 16. Davis on 75, but William K. Price, lap 90. The freshest tires of anybody. Quisenberry, lap 80. Tony Scarbo, lap 74. So it's a mixed bag. We'll see who got it right. Gap now under 10 seconds. As we approach 30 to go. William K. Price consistently the quickest man on track. Well, here, you heard what he was doing. Let's go on board. For turn 3, let's see if he does it on both ends of the racetrack. He is also saving fuel. Right as we cut away, I heard him put the clutch in. So not. There it is. Turn 3 and 4. So he's having to save a little bit of fuel. You don't want to have to be stuck on pit road if you can't avoid it. That's a 44-second trip down pit road. It's a little less for a splash and go, but and there he is saving fuel. Let's go back to Jared Lindsay. He pitted on lap 92. That is right on the edge of the fuel run. Watch him. He's good to go. He's not saving any fuel. He is going to the end of this thing. Jared Lindsay could win an incredible race on fuel mileage. Jonathan Schwartz pitted on 91. He's going to be really close. Here's Michael Davis. He was trying to get to pit road for his last stop. It's just the transition. Look how rough that is. So these are all the guys that pitted in the mid-70s. They know they can't make it, so they split it in half. Tony Scarbo, the first man to do that. And Michael Davis as well, but a penalty for the 57, obviously unsafe rejoin. Here's William K. Price. 6.9 seconds. Let's go on board with Whitley. He pitted even a couple, so he's going to have to pit again. He pitted on 82. He will not make it. Mike DeWalt even. He just came in. 4 tires and fuel for his last stop. So it's in the balance. Can the guys on lap 90 stretch it? Or will they make a splash and go, or do they try and split it in half? Here comes Joseph McGill, James Goodwin, their last stop. Jared Lindsay, can he is in the catbird seat, 92. He does not have to stop again. Schwartz will be pushing it. He put it on lap 91. William Bowman, same thing. Price and Ritchie really going to be trying to stretch it. If you're Jared Lindsay, this might have fallen into your lap perfectly by making that extra pit stop after the stage to top off with just a little bit extra fuel. Inside of 30 laps to go. It's Mark Whitley from Randy Arms, 4.5 seconds. They have a 7-lap difference on tires, so Whitley way quicker. And Randy coming in. He knew he couldn't make it. He's coming in early. BMK Price now third. It'll be second after this corner. He'll have the momentum. He's got 12-lap fresher tires. And now it's 5.1 seconds to Mark Whitley with an 8-lap difference on tires. He was half a second quicker last lap. And here comes Mark Whitley for his final pit stop of the night. Has to be perfect. William K. Price would love to not have to stop again, but he's going to have to stretch the fuel. That's going to bring Schwartz and Lindsay into it late. .77 all the way down. It's going to be a 4-tire stop and just enough fuel to get to the end. 26 laps to go. Can William K. Price save enough fuel? Lap 90, it's right on the edge. Mazzella, he can't make it. He's coming in. Kyle Ritchie also lap 90. He's 7 seconds behind Price. That's not going to be a factor. Quisenberry's in. Schwartz trying to stretch it. Lindsay trying to stretch it. Blevins trying to stretch it. Shields, Ferguson, Hashey, Bowman, and Scare. Your top 10 are trying to stretch it on fuel. Cade Ferguson, lap 89. He's going to have a heck of a task trying to save. He's really stretching. Let's go on board. Let's see if William K. Price can lay the hammer down yet. Is he comfortable that he's got enough fuel in that 34 machine? He's looking pretty good here. He's got 33 seconds to Mark Whitley. Here comes Whitley to unlap himself. This is not for the race lead. He is getting back on the lead lap. If you're William K. Price, say that's just fine. You are not making up 33 seconds in 23 laps. It's a 14-lap difference on tires. Could this be William K. Price's night? He has to have it. He'll be back into the top 10. William K. Price has to be careful here of guys that did make a 2-stop. They will be on much quicker tires, trying to unlap themselves. They're going to be on their own race. DeWalt's trying to catch. I mean, that's 2 seconds. You never know. So you got to just keep an eye on the rearview mirror. If you're William K. Price, don't want to get run over. Now 11 cars on the lead lap after the 9 machine of Mike DeWalt unlapped himself. Still not. He is being a little bit more cautious on the throttle. He's not necessarily clutching.
mean, Zach Scare's getting a nice run on him. They have equal tires. Scare in 12th right now, but you would say that, you know, 34 has been really, really quick. So you can tell this 34 is just trying to make sure that he has enough fuel. There goes Randy Arms, completely different strategy. He's going to blast by both of them. William K. Price, he's like, hey, I love that. I love a little bit of draft. Help me out. I save fuel. I go quicker. Checks all the boxes. Joseph Murata spent 7 minutes on pit road. He's officially out of the race. Demyin can actually pick up one more spot. He can finish 21st in the 21 car. Mark Whitley 25 seconds behind. 19 laps to go. Pick off Shields right here with his 14-lap fresher tires, and he'll set off after Corey Blevins, 12 seconds up the road. If you're William K. Price, you don't really know how to handle Zach Scare, though. You just want to make sure, because he's pretty close behind you, but he's not blowing past you, so you just want to make sure that you don't lose concentration. There will be faster cars catching both of them. You just want to make sure that you handle business the right way. You have 7 seconds almost to play with, so if you need to let him go and you can just sit in his draft, you could do that. But he is hoping that he can just get to the end of this thing. He's got plenty of time out back. Mark Whitley 23 seconds behind. He will not catch him at the current rate, even though there's a 14-lap advantage for Whitley on tires. I do think Scare's just trying to stay in his draft, though. That could be something else, because Scare pitted on 91, so he's trying to stretch it. He's just trying to stay in the draft. I feel like that's what's going on there. 6.5 seconds. It's stable at 6.5 seconds. Let's go on board again. Coming to 15 laps to go. And he's not coasting. He feels like he's got enough fuel. There's a lot of guys, though, on differing tire strategies. It's so close to getting run over from behind. You guys going to have to work together, communicate, hold their lines, be predictable if you're on old tires trying to stretch the fuel. Every car in the field's doing something different. Jonathan Schwartz, he is closing in on Kyle Ritchie here late as well. Whitley's closing in on Corey Blevins for 5th. Just a second quicker per lap. That would get him, if it held, it could get him nearly on pace for a podium. If it held. .13 laps to go, and it's a 33-second lap. K. Price, he's just begging the laps to count down. He is comfortably ahead. He has nailed the strategy, and he's just begging and praying that all these cars that are on different strategies, they play nice. There is a lot of action on track with differing cars, differing strategies. It can be very easy for somebody to get run over here. But he needs to complete these next 11 laps as quick as possible to get to that white flag to make the race official. Mazzella also charging on his fresh tires. Mark Whitley, the first man on the fresh tires. He is 17 seconds back from your race leader with 11 laps to go. He is not gaining at a rate that would get him in contention for the win. He could get a top 4. I think maybe third, depending if these guys start battling. And if they battle, it could very easily be second. But it is coming down to single digits to go. This time, about to be 9 laps to go for William Price. Zach Scare has stayed in his tire tracks the whole way. He's trying to save fuel right with him. I will say Lindsay and Schwartz, they did nail the strategy. They were just a little bit behind Price and Richie. Mazzella has 5 lap fresher tires than DeWalt, so that'll be a battle that's going to be hard fought to the end. Daniel Hashey has 1 lap fresher tires than Cade Ferguson. This is for a top 10. Cade Ferguson trying to get his first top 10. Hashey trying to go back-to-back top 10s. This is a good night for both of them either way. Demien did officially pass Joseph Murata, so he gained 1 position with all of this. Schwartz has caught Kyle Ritchie. And with 7 laps to go here at Legacy Atlanta. Saw the flagman there. Green flag in his hand. And Schwartz, it said he was off track. I'll show you why. It was a heart and mouth moment on our overlay here. Loose through the grass. He does save it. No caution. Gathers it right back up, though. He's putting Ritchie under a lot of pressure, despite that off-track excursion. With his 6 laps, so he just needs to get around 5 more times. Fierce battle for second, though. Anything can and will happen. Mark Whitley closing in. He should catch Blevins for 5th, but his progress, he has been setting qualifying laps since he came out on lap 104. He's used up his stuff just a little bit, so his progress has slowed ever so slightly. Mazzella did catch DeWalt. Hashey did catch Ferguson. That should be Mazzella through on his 5-lap fresher tires. That should be Whitley through on his 14-lap fresher tires. And Schwartz, 1-lap fresher tires than Kyle Ritchie. Trying to seal the deal. He'll do a nice little slide job. Ritchie fighting for every point possible, though, here in the playoffs. It's going to get tight down the back straightaway. And into turn 3, Ritchie will take the spot back. But he's going to get really tight. That's going to give Schwartz a big hole to walk through. He'll take this position right back. Hard fighting here in the closing stages of the Atlanta 130. 3.5 laps to go. Lap traffic just ahead and behind. I think if you're William Price, you lap the 27. I don't know, because the 16 is going to be fighting him for position. I would get out of the way. I really would. There is no reason to be putting yourself under this much stress this late. But he does get around him. There's Demien right there, heavily damaged, with a lot of fast cars approaching. It is getting very sketchy right around your leader. Cars blinking in and out. Price says, come on, 2 more laps. Just 1 more lap if he can get off 4 here. He just needs 38 seconds of peace and quiet. He starts the second to last lap. He needs 33 seconds now.
A lot of cars side by side, differing strategies, battling for the first top 10 of Cade Ferguson's season. He's down the back straightaway. He's halfway there. Short's not going to be a factor. He is clear of Richie. The top 3 set in stone. He's going to get off of 4. Now he just has to make sure he's got the fuel. White flag in the air. Race is official. William Price looking for his first win of the season. Hit it on lap 90. 41 laps, the maximum end of the range of fuel. Down the back straightaway. He's almost able to coast from here. He can taste his first victory of the season. He needed it, had to have it through 3 and 4 for the final time, and he's gonna get it. William K. Price, your winner. First time at Legacy Atlantis, are wrecking behind him. Kyle Ritchie off track on the last lap. The battle for the top 10. Is there several guys wrecking on the last lap? Cade Ferguson has drove an excellent race, and he'll pick up his first top 10 of the season. If he can just throttle up, he'll do so. Ashy, another good result. And William Bowen, the last car on the lead lap. In a crazy race. But it's William K. Price getting it done. His first career LSRL win. And that's got to feel good. And he has plenty of fuel for the burnout. How about that? First 2 races of the round of 12. Gone about as bad as they possibly could have. But in the 3rd race, his luck completely turns around. He nails the strategy. He'll get it done. Let's see if we can get him up here for an interview. Let's see here. We got William K. Price. There he is, waiting for interview. Here with your race winner, back-to-back weeks of a first-time winner. This is a special one for William K. Price. He's been so close so many times, has great speed, gets into the playoffs. First 2 races of the playoffs go about as bad as they possibly can, but tonight, you didn't give up. You started second. You were with Mark Whitley step for step, lap for lap, and you nailed the strategy. William Price, you are an LSRL Xfinity Series winner. How did you do it?
Finally got one. Finally stayed in there long enough with Whitley to contend with him. When we came for that last the first pit stop after the break, man, I started doing the math. I was like, dude, we can make it as long as we make it to lap 90 or 91 and then save for 10, 11 laps coming out on the last stint, and I should be able to make it. I had like about 8.8 gallons left at the line, so we had plenty of gas.
Yeah, had enough fuel for the burnout. But, yeah, that was super impressive. It gives you an outside shot to get to the Championship 4. You got great stage points in the win. 0, I mean, you got it all. So you give yourself an outside shot and showing the speed that we knew you had. Just the last 2 weeks, no luck whatsoever. But tonight, I mean, it's really got to feel good to finally break through.
Absolutely, man. Finally get a win after being pretty close all season. Me and Whitley ran, bumper, nose to bumper for every lap for the 75 laps before the strategy split. So that was pretty cool too.
And so that lap 90 pit stop, was that something? I know you just briefly mentioned it, but after that first pit stop at the stage, you're like, all right, this is what we're going for. That was locked in.
Yeah, we were going for that no matter what. I mean, I had to get the absolute maximum points tonight or 0 chance at making the 4. So it had to be a gamble.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations. We love a first-time winner, especially in the playoffs. You drove a perfect race. And, yeah, like I said, you give yourself an outside shot. and looking forward to seeing what you do with it next week at Auto Club. We'll let you get any shout outs in if you have any.
Just throw a quick shout out to my wife, my son, my dad was talking to me in Discord, not spotting for me, but just talking to me. And yeah, that's about it, man. I appreciate you guys for putting all this stuff on and the broadcasts. But yeah, finally got a win. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations again, and we'll see you next week at Auto Club.
Yep, you too, man. Take it easy.
Here with your second. Oh no! Oh, Schwartz. That's right. We'll do it. I messed it up. He's in. He's with the team. You're normally all in the interview room, but here with your third place finisher. Nevertheless, 2 podiums in a row for Kyle Ritchie, and you are looking really, really good heading into Auto Club next week. What was kind of the plan here tonight with the fuel mileage and how important tires were? What was kind of the mindset out there tonight?
Well, I knew I was a long run car, so my mindset was take that to advantage, and I wanted to just one stop it after the stage, which I didn't think was gonna work at first, and then I did some math and it worked out perfectly. I was like half a lap to the good, I think.
Yeah, so you put it at the same time Price did, lap 90. He had point .8 coming to the line. You had point .5, like you said at the end there. So really good result. You nailed the strategy bang on, and you gave yourself a really good shot at advancing into the championship 4.
Yeah, it was a good points day for us. It was fun. Looking forward to next week. I don't even know where we're going.
Yeah, that would be Auto Club.
Ooh, that'll be another fun race.
Absolutely. But yeah, you got the momentum on your side of first and the third in the last 2 weeks, and you're looking really good heading into the last race in the round of 12.
Yeah, we'll take it. We'll run with the momentum, hopefully into the championship 4.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations again, and we'll let you get any shout outs in if you have any.
I'm gonna shout out Wyatt for being my spot. Well, not my spotter, my crew chief, and shout out to you guys for putting on a great event as always.
Absolutely. I'll appreciate the kind words, and we'll see you next week at Auto Club.
Thank you.
And let's get your second place driver. It with Jonathan Schwartz, driver of the 58 machine. Was definitely looking like a vintage Jonathan Schwartz race in that first stage. We saw you drop back to save some fuel. The caution kind of makes that a moot point. Nevertheless, it ends up a Jonathan Schwartz style race with the decision. Do you want to 2-stop it or 1-stop it? What was more important to you? What was kind of the mindset coming into tonight? Fuel versus tires.
Well, I thought tires would be a bigger, larger factor than anything, but I ran after that stage caution. I ran the first run. I was able to go a little bit longer on the run than I thought going all out, but then that kind of changed my strategy to save fuel and then make it a 1-stop race from there. So glad it worked out to get a second place finish, but I don't know how William did it, but he got there.
Yeah, absolutely. But another really good points day for you. Obviously, I know you had to opt out due to missing a race in the playoffs, but you've had impressive consistency all season long, and just another solid result for the 58 team.
Yeah, that's kind of been the name of the game all season. If we're up front and in the top 5, you got a chance to win it. So we'll just keep it up the rest of the season.
Absolutely. It's always fun watching you, no pressure when watching your strategies just going for wins now. So it'll be interesting to see the last 2 weeks. Looking forward to it for sure. We'll let you get any shout outs in if you have any.
Just want to thank my sponsor, the Cleaning Authority, coming on board for the title of the league this year and being on my car every week. It's been a lot of fun with them. And thank you guys for broadcasting for us. You guys do a great job.
Absolutely. Appreciate the kind words, and we'll see you next week at Auto Club.
All right. See ya.
Here with the Wilder Graphics Xfinity team, and massive congratulations to Cade Ferguson, driver of the 28 machine, picking up his first top 10 of the season.
Yeah, all strategy. I wanted to save a set of tires, and then really when that last stage came out, I was like, you know what? I think I can make it on 1-stop. I'm in like 17th, 18th. Let's just see what happens. And it ended up working out pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely. You ended up +8 from where you started. A really good call. You had some pressure down your neck those last couple laps from the driver 32, Daniel Hashey. He was breathing down your neck, but cool under pressure, and you pick up the top 10.
Yeah, I was just worried about keeping it out of the wall and not spinning out, and I think I did a pretty good job of that. And Yeah, as soon as they said I was basically good to go on fuel, I was like, you know what? I'll just kind of watch what he's doing behind me and make sure he's not closing the gap. But I'm not going to push any harder than I have to.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, it's a really well managed race for sure. Landon, your take on things tonight at Atlanta? What was kind of the mindset, for you, fuel versus tires?
Uh, well, you know me, I'm not good at saving fuel, so I said I'll play to my strengths. I probably could have pitted a little bit earlier because I underestimated how good the short pit really was. I shouldn't have because it's Atlanta, but uh, I just struggle on the middle of the run for some reason. Like I can do good in the long run, I can do good like in the short part of the run, but for some reason that mid stint, for whatever reason, I never can get it right at any racetrack. I'm just glad I hate saying brought it home one piece because I feel bad about the incident on 15, but I kind of feel like that was a racing deal. I feel bad because those two are like right on the cusp of getting in the final four, and like those are two guys that I wanted to get into the championship four to race for it, and like they were junked. But I don't really know what else I could do. I got that Mark Martin mindset. Like if I'm involved in it, even if it's not really my fault, I feel really bad. So uh, I don't know.
Yeah, looking at it at least from the booth perspective, I don't think there's anything else you could have done. Just a racing deal. Unfortunately, it was good to see that you didn't get junked up in that. You actually had some really good speed after that. You were up inside the top 10 for a good portion. It was just kind of having to make that one extra stop. Those extra 40 seconds on pit road kind of are the big deal here tonight.
Yeah, well, that was me just going back. Well, I missed my box, and then I went back and looked at the replay because I was trying to see if I should beat myself up about it or not, if it was my fault. Um, so, yeah, I don't know. I just feel really bad for those two, and I hope they have a good run next week. But yeah, I had good speed, but this track's just really, really difficult. It was a long fight to the end, and I feel like it was something I was gonna say. Oh, I'm sad that Joe didn't get to finish out the strategy because he just said that his refrigerator had an issue. So then I made the joke. I was like, yeah, his refrigerator ran away.
Yeah, it was running. Had to go catch it.
Yeah, because he just dipped. He said he was gonna go fix it and then hop back, and then he just left. So I think it got down a couple blocks. So you really had to book it then.
Yeah, that's
so.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. I said I think someone left the door, like open the door for it, and it got down the street.
Yeah, that's a new one. DNF due to refrigerator issues. That's definitely a first. But you know what? When life happens, it happens. So, but yeah, a strong result from you guys tonight, and looking forward to next week at Auto Club.
Thank you.
Yes, and hell.
Hello.
You saying there's a chance?
Here with the rest of the Speed Zone Esports Xfinity team.
Oh,
How we doing, fellas?
sure. Amazing. How you doing?
Pretty good. That was an interesting race. It was fuel versus tires. Jared Lindsay, you were on the side of fuel and cutting out one last pit stop there at the end, and it ends up working out for you at P4.
Yeah, it was interesting. I heard Randy and them have been talking about like the dynamic track, but tonight was my first time getting to like run on it, and I really didn't know what I was doing vast majority of the time. I was just trying to copy everyone around me.
Yeah, you look good up there. Definitely a kind of a depth on the fly. We had the kind of people were like, oh, we're gonna fuel save in the first stage, and then we had the caution come out. It's like, all right, never mind, we're gonna have to go back to racing now. And then with the way that the stage was set up, it's like, hey, we had talked to a couple guys who are like, hey, lap 90 is the money. If we get to lap 90, we don't have to stop again. And obviously, you put on 92, so you were really good to the end.
Yeah, that was my biggest issue that honestly probably cost me a shot to even have a chance for the win is I didn't think about the pace slowing down and you saving fuel by default. So I had like 3.5 laps coming to the checkered.
Man had it extra, but yeah, a good result. Started fourth, finished fourth. It's another good result for you for sure.
Yeah, I'm just happy to run with the guys. I like 20 minutes before the race started that I was gonna have a little free time. So I was like, oh god, it's Atlanta. I gotta say yes.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, Randy, you were kind of the ones leading the charge on the tire side of things. You come home 7th tonight. What was kind of your mindset for this?
Well, we kind of put ourselves in a hole by not taking tires under that yellow that early on, and So I figured most of the guys up front would probably try to do one stop. So I was like, I gotta do something different. So I just kind of tried to go as far as I could and knew I would use them up, but I wouldn't be going as long as those guys. So we we just recovered, I think, seventh. So after finishing like 15th in the stage, after not taking tires, I felt like that was a pretty good recovery.
Yeah, definitely. It could have been a lot worse, having to make a whole extra pit stop. But seventh place, you're in a good position points wise to get yourself into the championship four.
Yeah, I think top 3 in points are pretty
Separated by
safe.
3 points.
Yeah, I think we're pretty safe to make it, but from 4th to like 6th or so is real tight. So we just got to go next week and have a clean race and get a halfway decent finish. And I think we'll be good.
And here's the man in fourth that is not safe. Jonathan Mazzella, you are +5, but you are currently heading into Auto Club next week, the last member of the Championship 4 as it stands.
Oh, I feel like I'm safe. I've been saying it all year. I'm gonna start turning people, and I haven't done it yet. Next race is the race. I was gonna turn Randy today, but I couldn't quite get to him. But it was fun. I love the dynamic tracks. It's so much fun, and it was a good race.
We should see more of the same at Auto Club, definitely. A lot of grooves there.
Oh, it's gonna be insane. That and Vegas are gonna be insane with this new track stuff.
So, Demian, you're 5 out. Obviously, tonight it was what it was. And then it sounds like you're gonna get turned next week too from Mazzella. So
Everybody getting turned.
I'd be fine with that. Put on a good show,
But hey, you got junked. You and Tiller, it is what it is. You got junked lap 15. You ended up getting one spot right at the end of this thing, 22nd to 21st. That could come into play. You just never know how it's gonna shake out next week, but that could be the biggest point all season.
Yeah, well, we're out for a drive today, and hopefully not out for a drive next week. But we'll be fighting Mazzella for it.
Casey,
fun.
Absolutely. Casey Brown, you had the save of the race. It looked like off turn 2 at one point, but I think it was pit entrance that kind of caught you out and ended up getting you off sequence.
Yeah, that seems to be our Achilles heel this year. Just getting on pit road, we just seem to just can't hit the brakes for whatever reason. So we decided to hang out on pit road for 40 seconds and take a smoke break. But we qualified up front, got some stage points. So just kind of beat myself on pit road and just didn't really have anything left to show for it. But hey, we'll go on to next week and try to do better.
Absolutely. Well, always a pleasure, fellas. It's going to be a great race next week at Auto Club. A lot on the line, and looking forward to it.
We appreciate you, man.
Absolutely.
Have a good night.
Yeah, you too. Here with William Bowman, Zach Scare, 12th and 13th, and +10 for both of them. So a really good night for the CMS boys.
Yeah, hey man, held our own, I guess.
Yeah, and Scare, you got a lot of airtime. You were just tracking William Price tire track for tire track there those last 20 laps.
Yeah, I didn't want to wreck him, so I was trying to be nice and just kind of chill out. I was quicker than he was, but it just wasn't worth it to push.
You don't want to be that guy, but yeah, what was the mindset strategy wise tonight for you guys? A lot of guys were like, is it fuel or tires? What were you guys thinking out there?
Yeah, well, we were kind of hoping maybe there'd be one more caution, but I think we both made a mistake of not taking tires during the first caution that came out, and that put us, all the way in the back after the stage break, and then we just did the one stopper from there. So
yeah. I think
another caution would have been nice to get some fresh ones, but here's what it is.
I think you ended up maximizing the result. You said you got stuck behind the 8 ball there at the stage, but the one stop got you some free spots there towards the end.
Yeah, I'm happy with where I finished for starting in the back.
Yeah, there are no complaints on that one.
Absolutely, but well managed. Car's
that
clean.
Track sucked.
Yeah, it's a tire shredder.
Ice,
oh
man.
yeah, it's rough.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah, I vote to never do that track ever again.
We'll take you to New Atlanta next season. It'll be fine.
Right, or make track temp about 50 degrees. So
Definitely, but always a pleasure, fellas, and we'll see you.
Right on, man.
We'll see you next time.
You guys
Appreciate
have a
you
good one.
guys.
Thank you.
And here with James Goodwin and Joseph McGill, they both had very strong runs tonight. Towards the latter stages, though, it ended up kind of getting away from them. Just whether it's your strategy or I know Goodwin, you ended up having a lot of left side damage that kind of got you off sequence.
Yeah, that hurt coming out of 2 there on lap. I think it was like lap 26 coming out of 2. Just got loose all on my own, and I probably shouldn't have even been allowed to keep racing with how hard I hit that wall. But apparently, no required repairs, just a minute and a half of optional, and I just didn't have the time to get it all fixed. So car never really felt right after that.
Definitely,
Yeah,
but
we weren't sure about their fuel.
Yeah.
So we decided to do that last pit stop there and try to make up the spots for it, but that was tough trying to make up those spots. They weren't too far behind tire wise either.
Yeah, kudos to those guys.
yeah, it's kind of interesting. I know we talked pre-race. You said, "Oh, it's the tire shredder," with how bad it is, but it ended up being the fuel mileage that was kind of more important towards the end of this thing.
Yeah, some of those guys really pulled it off well, and I've never been a good fuel saver. I push harder than I
Right.
probably should, and those guys that are good at it definitely made it work. And like I said, kudos to them because I didn't think that was going to work.
Yeah, in the race format, it was a bit easier to manage the tires. Like you said, that was kind of the last thing on my mind.
Yeah, but you looked really good, McGill. I think tonight, at least in the middle portion of the race, you were up to almost as far. I think it was 9th or 10th on pure pace. So I think tonight, whatever it was, something definitely clicked a little bit, and you had the most speed you had all season.
Yeah, it was good for a change. I didn't finish either of the last 2 races. Got wrecked out probably halfway on both of them. So it was good to finish a race and be competitive for a bit, even if it is the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. But looking forward to closing out the round of 12 at Auto Club and expect some more great racing, multi-groove racing there next week.
Wait, I'll have the car paint job to match the race sponsor. So,
hey,
looking forward to it, fellas. Y'all have a good one.
Hey, you too.
Yep, thanks. Bye.
Art, you just missed it. You just missed it.
Oh, huh?
Just missed it. But yeah, fuel mileage race, back-to-back weeks of first-time winners.
I'm really sad to miss it. I got everything, plugged in, turned my computer on. There was 3 laps to go. So I just enjoyed the rest of it. It was a great race.
Yeah, William K. Price, first win of the season. Kyle Ritchie has turned it on, momentum-wise. Mark Whitley didn't put a foot wrong. I mean, he really didn't. He chose tires. The top 4 chose fuel. I mean, but it's a massive recovery when he needed it. He'll be squarely back in the championship fight. So it's still a big night for the 77 machine. But yeah, Art, your final thoughts just from a viewer's perspective tonight.
I mean, I always love fuel mileage races. I loved the call from William K. Price to just go for it. Man went out and, got it. Just exciting to see.
Absolutely. And then, yeah, so 12 cars on the lead lap. Zach Scare could have, like you said, probably could have passed him. Give us 13, but he was just being very respectful of the leader. And there you have it. Some guys trying to get, the guys that chose tires ended up a lap down. And we heard, McGill and Goodwin. Michael Davis, a pit road issue. Casey Brown, same thing. We saw what happened to Demien and Tiller, and Joseph Murata, DNF due to a refrigerator issue. So that'll be a first. Then actually probably the only time we'll ever see that. But a great race. We'll close off the round of 12 next Tuesday night at Auto Club. We're trimming it from 12 to 4. And then we're going to Las Vegas for the championship race. And then next Monday night, Racing Series, we took the 500 off, but we're back, and we'll be heading to Michigan for 100 laps of racing there. So be sure to tune in next Monday, 8:30, and next Tuesday, 8:30, for some more action from some of your favorite drivers and leagues. They'll take care.